Hello, Grumpy here. I feel the need for a rant about ICEholes and EVholes. So, what is an ICEhole and an EVhole? ICE, internal combustion engine, EV, electric vehicle. These are the idiots that want to park in a charging spot and not charge. And the reason I'm getting a bit pissed off with these people, there's been so much on forums and on Facebook and so on in the last few weeks complaining about these types of people. So sometimes these people who are putting in complaint want to do some things that are not a good idea. So they want to let down their tyres, they want to stick stickers across the windscreen that are hard to get off. They want to do all sorts of things like that. But you've got to remember that in some places can be completely illegal. You can be charged with criminal damage and then get a criminal conviction because of it. So what can you do? Basically, nothing. The only thing that you can do is to leave a polite note on the windscreen, under the windscreen wiper. That is all. These people, the internal combustion engine vehicles, probably might not realise that it's an EV charging spot. They may just be entitled pricks who want to park wherever they do. I had one instance earlier on this year. There were 2 EV parking spots with 2 chargers, and there was a guy had parked his old beaten up whatever it was in one of them because it was close to where he wanted to go. And I parked in the other spot, was plugging in, and he came back, and I just basically said, hey, you do realise this is for an electric vehicle, a charging spot? Well, I got a torrent of abuse. So I just left him to rant and so on. He then took a picture of me and I just stood there, fine, whatever you want, mate. But he's obviously a bit of an entitled prick who thinks he can park anywhere and sod the rest of the world. But then I've also had instances where people go, oh, sorry, didn't realise. Hold on, there's a big sign there. The parking spot's painted green. Yeah, why are you driving if you can't see? So the best thing is not to challenge them, not to do anything. Just be polite and don't cause any sort of damage. But a lot of the problems are also from electric vehicle owners who, I don't know if they mistakenly believe that an electric vehicle charging spot actually means electric vehicle parking spot. So they'll park there and they won't plug in. That is possibly a matter of education. Here in Australia, we've had a massive number of EVs being sold recently, and over the next few months there's going to be a massive number, possibly about as many again in the next 6 months as we've had so far, if you want to believe what Robin Denholm said from Tesla. It's going to get worse with EVs parking in EV spots and not charging. It's just a matter of education. So once again, be polite. These people, A, may not realise it's an electric vehicle charging place and just see EV and park there. Or once again, they could just be entitled pricks. So what can you do? Leave a polite note. There's been a lot of things flying around the internet that you can print out and place on people's windscreens, and they're polite. but make sure it's polite. You don't want to be aggravating people. I've also had instances where people have parked, say, at shopping centres, got out their car and gone home because they consider it's free charge, so they can do what the hell they like. And they'll stay there for 4 and 5 hours whilst they get their battery from flat to full for free. And that is abusing the system. I've actually seen someone in his Tesla park at a free charging spot in a shopping centre, open up his boot, get out his electric scooter and disappear, and come back 4 hours later. Thank you very much, I've got a full charge. That, I think, is also wrong. If you're paying for the electricity, that's all right. You can stay there as long as you need. So if you go to a fast DC charger that's only putting out 50 kilowatts per hour maximum, then it could take you over an hour to charge your car. That's fine. But if it's free, I really do think you should stay for no more than about an hour. I try to limit myself to an hour. Sometimes it's a lot less, sometimes it's a bit more. The other day I went to the shops, I had to do my shopping, and I stayed for an hour. I did the shopping, that took me about 20-25 minutes, put the shopping in the car, and I had to go to the travel agent. It was just to ask a question, but it ended up being a lot more than that. So when I got back to the car, I noticed that I'd been about an hour and 20, but I'd used PlugShare, so somebody could contact me, and because I've got this Tesla, I could unlock the charge port from my phone wherever I was, and then they could park next to me and plug in if they needed to. So yeah, some time ago I did do a video, and I'll put the link up, well, wherever it is, and that was on charging etiquette. So just to recap, if it's a free charger at a shopping centre or at a business, do the right thing. Don't just park there and get a free charge while you can. Use the business, spend some money there. I only ever use the one at my shopping centre when I'm going shopping or going to be spending money at a shop there. And I try not to stay for more than an hour. So limit your use on free chargers to about an hour, unless you've run out of charge and you're on your way home and things can't be helped. The other thing that I really think people should do is use PlugShare. I always, just about always, register my stop at the charger on PlugShare. This gives people the opportunity to contact you, and then you can let them know, oh, I'm on my way, I'm going to be another 10 minutes or whatever. Because I've got a Tesla, I've actually been able to say I'm going to be about 15 minutes. I don't really need any more charge. I can stop it on the app and unlock the charge port. They can then unplug and use the charger themselves. So, you know, that's one of the advantages of having a Tesla, I suppose. So, I think we should all try and do the right thing. Be polite. Those other people may not understand. And we should all try and use PlugShare. Now, it's not a rule or a law to use PlugShare, but if we're thinking of other people and being considerate, then we need to use PlugShare. Besides PlugShare, there is also something called Need to Charge, where you can print out a little thing, and I've got one here on my windscreen, which comes with a QR code, and people can scan that and then send me a message. Some people leave their phone number on the windscreen. I used to do that, but I prefer not to. I prefer to make sure I use PlugShare and I have the Need to Charge on the windscreen. The need to charge is a good idea, but when you're driving up to a charging point and you see someone's parked there and there's nowhere for you to park and charge, most people will just keep going rather than stop, get out and have a look at the windscreen. So whilst the idea is good, I'm not sure that it's actually working very well, but it's something that's there. So in summary, be polite. Don't cause criminal damage. If you want to do something, leave a polite note. Don't challenge these people. You could end up getting punched or something stupid, because there are some ice holes out there. And try and use plug share. Also need to charge. And if it's free, try not to stay longer than an hour if possible. I know sometimes it's not, but if possible, allow other people the chance. We are getting more and more EVs coming into the market, being sold, and the problem is only going to get worse until we can increase the number of EV charging points. As I said in the news recently, Ampol are putting in charging spots at their petrol stations. Ampol, they're putting in 1 or 2 150 kilowatt chargers, which will be good, but they're only putting them in 120 sites around Australia. Not enough. A variety of state governments in Australia are putting in more chargers. I know in Western Australia the government is putting in chargers to go all the way from Kununurra, which is right up in the north, all the way around down to Esperance in the south, and across what's called the Nullarbor to the border with South Australia. So you're about to go all the way around. The other governments are also increasing the number of chargers that they're putting in. So it's getting better, but I think at the moment the number of EVs being sold far outweighs the number of charging spots going in. And when you compare the number of charging spots that are going into the number of petrol stations that are being built, petrol stations are coming up on every bloody corner around here in Australia. I think it's just crazy. In America, I know they've got this putting in more chargers around the country. It's happening, but we've just got to be patient and wait and take our time and stop being EV holes. Thank you very much for listening. Don't forget, click like and subscribe down below. It does help the channel and it costs you nothing. So thanks very much for watching. See you all soon.
And there's a little addendum at the end there. After I'd recorded that, I went down to a shopping centre and parked because I had to go to the bank. And when I got back, there was an old guy with his old little car parked in the second spot. And I was walking up to unplug and I just said to him, "You're not electric, are you? This is an electric charging point." And he sort of looked at me a bit puzzled. I said, "There's only 2 bays here for electric vehicles, and that's how we fill up our car." And he goes, "Oh, is that your car?" And I go, "Yeah, that's my car, and I'm charging to put some fuel into my car." And he goes, "Oh." And as I was unplugging, he got in his car, he reversed out, and he moved down about 4 or 5 spots where there was an empty spot. And I thought, now that is a nice bloke. So thanks very much. See you all soon.